Jessica are off tonight. It is, of course, a first alert weather day as we gear up for this winter storm.
It's expected to bring a significant amount of snow to New York City and the tri-state area, across the region from Westchester to New Jersey and out on Long Island. Shovels and plows are ready to roll. In New Jersey, a state of emergency is now in effect as officials urge people to stay off the roads if possible. On Long Island, Suffolk County leaders say they have salt, sanders, and plows in position. And our first alert weather tracker is out on the roads in Morris County, New Jersey right now.
No snow out there just yet, but we are already starting to see some delays at local airports. Newark dealing with 262 delays. JFK has 208. LaGuardia 138 at last check. We have team coverage tonight from the city all the way to Jersey. First, we begin with Craig Allen here in studio with us and our first alert forecast. Craig, you have some stuff to cover tonight, certainly.
Yeah, there's a little bit of work to do for tonight, and it's going to keep going through at least the first half of the night. Really rough, and then it'll start tapering down as we get towards the morning hours. Yep, we have some snow that's starting to fall across the area. Light snow for the area. It's not sticking just yet, but I'll tell you, the roads will be cold enough for it to stick immediately once we start picking up the intensity. 28 degrees out there. The dew point is 5. I bring that up because the air is so dry that even though radar shows it's snowing over your area, perhaps, it is not reaching the ground. It is drying out before reaching the ground. That'll change very soon. Visibility has dropped to 6 miles as the snow starts around the city, and there it is on radar. Each time you see a darker blue band, that's where the snow is heavier. That's where we moisten up the atmosphere. That's where we get the snow to eventually reach the ground. This was the first line that's moving through parts of the Hudson Valley now, out towards Long Island. A little bit of a break right there. And now we have all of this to come as we go through the next 4 to 6 hours. And this is the size of the system here. Thank goodness this is a steady mover, because otherwise we would have to up the totals or double them. But this is going to produce some very heavy snow at a very fast rate. Snow heavy at times from this point on, accumulations anywhere from a foot, half a foot that is, to maybe a foot or more, especially north and northwest and northeast of the city. Travel will become impossible for several hours. This is the way we time it out. With this particular model, you can see this is 7 o'clock. Look at the bands of heavier snowfall here. And again, though, the key is that at least it's moving at a steady pace. Some of you could pick up a little sleet or freezing rain to knock down the totals just a little bit. But in general, this is what we've got. A winter weather advisory, a winter storm warning that is, for 5 to 9 inches of snow at least. We'll have more of it coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, Craig, goes without saying we will check in with you again shortly.
All right, thank you, Craig. Going to be a long night here. Well, this is the 4th snow event of the season in the northern suburbs and likely to be the biggest.
And as you can see at the bottom of your screen, Tony Aiello's in White Plains to continue our coverage tonight. Tony, things looking snowy where you are, we can see.
You know, Doug, it pains me to correct my friend of many years, Craig Allen, but the snow that started falling here about 10 minutes ago is already starting to sticking to the cold surfaces, and you can see it's already accumulating on the windshield of this vehicle parked back here. It's been coming down for only 10 or 15 minutes. Inch by inch, hour after hour, it's going to accumulate. And you know, snow crews in Westchester, Orange, Rockland, Putnam, they really take pride in getting the job done and clearing the roads. It takes a lot of preparation and a lot of taxpayer money.
The plows are in place, the engines have been tuned, and tons of salt are ready to hit the road. Yorktown has 50 snow removal vehicles to deploy, clearing 400 lane miles of road, a big job that won't be cheap.
So our salt costs $92.07 a ton. Storm like this, we could put out 1,000 tons. You know,
that's $92,000.
Correct.
Dave Paganelli says adding $2,700 an hour for labor, you're looking at $140,000 for this storm. Friday, he and Town Supervisor Ed Lackman signed the snow emergency declaration that bans parking on Yorktown roads until 4 p.m. Saturday.
That's really what snow emergencies are about, making sure we could clear the roads and make sure emergency vehicles could get in if needed.
So we ask people to be part of the solution, not be part of the problem, and just, you know, park your driveways, your lawns, wherever you can. Just please don't park on our roads.
So the snow started here in White Plains around 4:45, 4:50, so not too long ago. And already you can see it's sticking to the very cold ground surface. It's been in the 20s up here most of the day. The snow's coming down and it is sticking. Many city, towns, and villages closed their offices early today, and like Yorktown have now issued snow emergency, and those bring parking restrictions. I asked the highway chief in Yorktown what's a realistic expectation for when his crews will have the roads down to bare pavement once the snow moves out. He's hoping to have that done by noon tomorrow on Saturday. Live in White Plains, Tony Aiello, CBS News, New York.
All right, Tony, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
It's really coming down there. Well,
Sure
Governor Hochul has just declared a state of emergency in New York as city agencies are gearing up for storm crews are spreading salt and making sure trucks and buses are road ready.
And Christy Kalishian live outside the Spring Street Salt Dome in Soho. Christy?
Well, Allie and Doug, just about a half hour ago, we started seeing those first few flakes come down. It's picked up slowly since then. And as you mentioned, we are here at the Salt Dome on Spring Street. And as you can imagine, it's been very busy throughout the day. Things are slowing down just a bit, waiting for things to get a little heavier here. But they've been busy here and also on 55th Street where we were earlier. And as far as New Yorkers go, I mean, they know the drill. They're planning to stay inside with the exception of just stepping outside to see the scenery a little bit later on. Chains are on DSNY truck tires as a fleet of these and salt spreaders are all ready to go.
Belated White Christmas.
Susan Case is taking advantage of the snowstorm with plans to go on a ski trip this weekend. She and other New Yorkers are stocking up at Brooklyn Fair in Lower Manhattan.
Staying inside.
Staying inside. What'd you grab today right before you're hunkering down?
Bread, ice cream, of course.
Stocking up on all the good stuff, of course, as city agencies like the MTA and Department of Sanitation work hard to keep roads and modes of transportation safe. The MTA says it's strategically staged 35 snow fighting vehicles and is replacing articulated buses with 40-foot standard buses. More than 3,600 of those outfitted with snow chains on the rear tires.
If you must travel, use public transportation. And I want to be clear, the city is ready. Salt spreading operations are already underway, and our plows are ready to clean up every street in every neighborhood as needed.
Staying home inside.
New Yorkers already know what to do to avoid those wintry conditions, while others are waiting and seeing.
Where do you live from? I'm not really preparing. We'll see what happens. They always say it's going to be big, but it's not always.
I don't know about that, Judy, but I have to say being out here feels pretty numb even without gloves. I don't even know why I'm doing that, but it is quite low, these temperatures right now. Even though we're not seeing too much snow, I would say definitely at least bundle up and bring those snow boots out if you do have to go out. The Department of Sanitation, of course, again, working very hard tonight. You are going to be sharing the roads with them if you are driving around the city. Very slow moving vehicles. They're working hard, so please be respectful of them. And also the Department of Sanitation is asking New Yorkers to help out and bring out those emergency shovelers out here, of course, getting paid. So anybody who's interested in that, they are asking for New Yorkers' help. So stick with CBS News New York as we bring you the latest. Live in Hudson Square, Christy Kalishian, CBS News New York.
Those interviews were just perfect, Christy. Bread, ice cream, of course. I mean, who can't relate to that?
It's going to be a night. You need the ice cream there.
Yep.
All right, to New Jersey now, where Governor Murphy has also declared a state of emergency. Andrew Ramos is live in East Rutherford with the latest on what to expect. Andrew?
Well, Ellie and Doug, the snow has not yet started here in Bergen County, but you can feel there's definitely something here in the air. Now, that state of emergency you mentioned went into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Across 21 counties here in New Jersey, officials here are expecting roughly 5 to 8 inches of snow in several parts of the state. I know that's not exactly the news you want to hear right now, but as far as tonight's storm, it's expected to bring dangerous conditions to the Garden State, including heavy white-out conditions, sleet, and freezing rain. To make matters worse, temperatures will remain below freezing throughout the weekend. Officials here are also urging drivers to stay off the roads to allow crews to get to work. So if you do not need to be out there, stay home. In Bergen County alone, more than 100 trucks are already hitting the pavement, pre-treating roads with salt. They will be working throughout the night to make sure it's not too much of a mess for drivers in the morning.
We have over 1,000 lane miles of roadway here in Bergen County, so that will be the challenge, and keeping our 24-hour facilities open also. Not only do we do roadways here, but we have to keep our hospital. We have 6 major hospitals here in Bergen County. We have to make sure all the roadways around those hospitals are accessible.
Now, as part of the state of emergency, officials here issued, the DOT officials, I should say, issued a commercial vehicle restriction for certain vehicles on certain major roadways here in the state. Now, that plan is expected to change depending just how bad conditions get here in the Garden State. That's the latest from here, live here along the beautiful Route 17 in East Rutherford. Andrew Ramos, CBS News, New York.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
Let's get over to Long Island now.
Yeah, Carolyn Gussoff there in Dix Hills, where Suffolk County has emergency operations in place. Carolyn?
That's right, Allie and Doug. We are just beginning to see the very first flakes, but the road behind me is the Long Island Expressway. We're here at the Long Island Welcome Center, the rest stop, and you can see traffic moving along just fine. That's because the snow really hasn't started. But officials in Suffolk County and Nassau want folks to get home and then stay there because we're about to see some significant snow accumulation coming down fast. Sand and salt ready to hit the roads of Suffolk and Nassau County for what's expected to be more snow than we've seen across Long Island in several years. And it's not just municipal roads, commercial lots also have to be cleared.
We've had some below average years the past few years, but to have 2 significant storms in December, it's been about 7 or 8 years. So our team's been preparing since Tuesday. We have a full fleet of trucks.
To get the job done, officials in Nassau and Suffolk are asking drivers to stay off the roads and travel only if absolutely necessary through the night and into Saturday morning.
And allow for our Department of Public Works and all other public workers to allow for the roads to be traveled.
Do not park your car on the local roadways. Make it difficult for town and villages, and certainly for the county, to plow if your car is on the roadway. We're ready. We have our salt, our sanding trucks. We have our plows out.
The worst of it expected Friday night will bring 1 to 2 inches per hour. Travelers were trying to beat the blast.
We're happy we traveled early to avoid the snow.
We heard a lot of snow is coming.
Yep. We were trying to get here just in time. We left a little late, but we still made it.
And look at this, it just arrived. I was just about to tell you that officials were expecting it to hit Suffolk County at around 6 p.m., but it's made an early appearance. It looks like it is now officially snowing in Suffolk County. The snow is moving from west to east. Reporting live from Dix Hills, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS News, New York.
Wow, Carol, thank you. And you can really see how quickly it's coming down now, because just the intro there was not much snow coming down, and now it's really happening.
Yeah, an assist on timing from Mother Nature there. Do stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage on this First Alert Weather Day. We're going to check back in with Craig Allen in just a few minutes. We'll have live updates again at 6, and then every hour on the hour, streaming from 7 all the way to 10 o'clock on CBS News New York, and back on the air at 11 for your late local news.
Well, still to come at 5, one-on-one with Governor Kathy Hochul. As we take a live look now at White Plains, you can see the snow is really coming down there, a fully white screen in front of us. We're going to ask the governor about how the state is preparing for tonight's storm.
Plus, a beloved CVS worker remembered as kind and hardworking after being stabbed on the job. What police are now saying about the search for his killer.
And a bus jumps the curb and hits a building in Yonkers. The latest on injuries, road closures, and the investigation ahead.
Welcome back. We continue, of course, to watch the snow expected to fall across our area tonight, falling already in some areas. New York Governor Kathy Hochul just declared a state of emergency.
Yeah, when the governor actually joins us now on the phone. Governor, thank you for taking the time here, and tell us, what is your biggest concern over the next 12, 24 hours?
Well, basically, I'm concerned about safety on the roads. We have so many people that have traveled to see loved ones over the Christmas holidays, and they may be planning their return trip tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm just urging everyone, if you can stay off the roads just a few more hours, delay your travel plans and allow our plows to get out there and do what they do. That's my main concern. If people are staying home, it's just a volume of snow. We'll be able to get through it. You know, New Yorkers are tough. We've been through this before, but I'm just more worried about safety on the roads at this point. And this is a widespread event. Right now we have the heaviest snow in central New York, and it's moving east. And, we're going to see, this is not unprecedented, but when you're not used to it on a regular basis, it's kind of a shock to the system, and people aren't used to driving in it, and they're not used to the delays. And so I just think the best thing, if you're able to, many people have to go into work, I understand that, but if you can stay home for the next day and a half, or next day even, it'll be much better for you and your family.
Yeah, Governor, you mentioned the shock to the system. It may come as one to many New York City residents. It's been quite some time since we've seen snow like this. So what is your role in monitoring the city specifically during a storm like this? What calls can you make versus what you decide to leave to the city authorities?
Well, we are always cooperating as a partner to our local municipal governments. This is not just the city of New York. This is all of Long Island. It's the Hudson Valley, Central New York, it's capital. It is 35 counties. And so my authority allows me to anticipate, a serious crisis, real problems, and to be preemptive. And part of that is being able to declare a state of emergency. And that state of emergency gives us the flexibility we need to manage whatever comes our way. For example, I'm from Buffalo. I've been through countless major blizzards and snow events that are paralyzing, and you want to be able to have state snow removal vehicles go onto local roads, but you can't do that if there's not a state of emergency. So I wanted to make sure that all of our assets can be deployed to help the city of New York if necessary, or any of our counties to help them get through this. So it's really a partnership relationship, but we prepare for this year round. We tabletop exercises. Our emergency management teams have deep relationships in the city, throughout the state. And at a time like this, we rely on that and that trust of each other, that they know that the state will be there to help them no matter what comes our way.
And Governor, we know heavy snow like this can sometimes bring down power lines. So how is the state preparing for the possibility of power outages?
That's my other largest concern is someone who was a young mom in Buffalo, and we had a blizzard that kept our power out for about a week. And I had little kids at home in the dark without any warmth, and it is frightening. So what I know is to make sure that we have over 5,000 utility crews ready to be deployed if the power lines come down. That's more likely to come in a heavy snow event, or if there's heavy winds that can take down trees and limbs that'll knock down the power. So my number one concern, if that happens, is getting the power restored immediately. So we are in constant communication with the utility companies about where they need to go to get the power and the heat back on.
Governor Kathy Hochul, thanks so much, Governor, for taking the time joining us on the phone this evening. We appreciate it.
All right, let's get another check on the weather now. Craig Allen back with us at the forecast. Craig?
Right now, we have the snow falling, and if it is falling over your area, it is sticking. Obviously, temperatures are well below the freezing mark out there. You can see it showing up on radar. The darker blues, that's your heavier snow. There's one band that's going across Westchester County. It's also coming down across the Sound over eastern Nassau into Suffolk County. Here's another one that is occurring across New Jersey. This is the one that's moving through Nassau right now into Suffolk, and this is the one where Tony Aiello was standing with the snow first coming down. Travel west on 80, on 78, it is really coming down as well. So this is what we have to watch out for in terms of snowfall. It has has begun. It is accumulating across the area right now. Heavy snowfall rates are going to be anywhere from 1 to 2 inches per hour over the next little while, next several hours. And obviously that means extremely heavy travel. Light to moderate snow after midnight. So it's still accumulating, but it's not as bad. It's not like the whiteout conditions that are suddenly developing over the area. Minor additional accumulations after sunrise tomorrow. So it starts to taper down pretty quickly, and hopefully the crews get a handle on it by the afternoon hours. If you are under some of those heavier bands, you have the possibility of seeing a foot of snow. It's not a lot of the area, but some of you will. Most areas 5 to 9, about a half a foot of snow. Lower amounts off to the south and east because of the fact that you're going to get some mixing of sleet and freezing rain in there during the time of the storm. The other part to worry about is after tonight and tomorrow morning, it's cold enough for it to freeze a little bit during Saturday night and Sunday. But here's another problem. You're going to have a lot of slush, a lot of water on the roads, because by late Sunday and on into Monday, it's warm enough for rain out there before it freezes again. Daytime highs won't get out of the 30s as we close out the rest of the year.
Going to be a big old mess. All right. Thank you, Craig.
We appreciate it, Craig. Thank you. There is breaking news right now in Westchester County. Take a look at this scene in Yonkers where an MTA bus has crashed into a building at the corner of Warburton and Ashburton Avenues. We're told the bus also hit 2 parked cars and that the bus driver was the only person on the bus. She has minor injuries. No one else, thankfully, was hurt. This is a live look from the scene in Yonkers. It appears the building is being demolished by crews, or at least cleaned up. As you can see, we do have a crew of our own at the scene. We'll bring you the latest details as they come into our newsroom.
A tragedy on Long Island where police say a 23-year-old man was killed while working inside of a CVS pharmacy. It happened on Christmas night, Montauk Highway in Lindenhurst. Police say Edidson Sine Jr. was working behind the counter when a man in his 40s stabbed him and ran away. The victim's family tells us he wasn't even supposed to be working, but at the last second, he picked up someone else's shift. Suffolk County Police say CVS corporate policies delayed the release of surveillance video up to 18 hours, which was hindering their investigation. A CVS spokesperson said, quote, "It took quite a bit of time to pull and package in the specific manner they asked for. Police say they do have a person of interest in mind and are expecting an arrest soon. A motive is not clear."
Still to come for us, we're going to take another look outside as the snow continues to fall across our area.
All right, here's a live look now at White Plains, really putting the white in White Plains there as the snow is coming down. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A live look now at White Plains once again, where the snow is just continuing to fall. It really has been relentless for the past half hour or so.
Yeah, everything that Tony Sadiku and Craig Allen have been telling us what happened with the fast approaching snow, and it would pack a punch when it got here. That's what you can see is happening there in White Plains.
And that storm is traveling, so stay with CBS News New York for the very latest on the winter storm. We'll have updates and live radar on cbsnewyork.com throughout the night.
Well, drums and dance workshops drew crowds to the Brooklyn Children's Museum for its annual Kwanzaa Festival today.
A procession of dancers led attendees to the auditorium in Crown Heights. A new candle representing one of the 7 principles is lit each day. The first candle of the Kinara was lit to celebrate the holiday's first principle, unity. Museum leaders say this is the largest family Kwanzaa celebration in all of New York City.
I think each principle has something very important that children can take away, in which they can use that towards goal setting, use that towards becoming better citizens in their community.
The festival is now in its 18th year, and it will continue daily until December 30th. Still ahead at 5:30, our Snapshot New York special.
And I'll be back with you at 6 p.m. Of course, we will be tracking the storm. We'll have live pictures in just about a half hour's time. And if the last 20 minutes is any indication, it will look very different than it does even right now. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.